The Detroit Red Wings go 1-1 this weekend, but are the Minnesota Wild what the Detroit Red Wings fan base has to look forward to?
You're Locked On Red Wings, your daily podcast on the Detroit Red Wings, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back to the Locked On Red Wings podcast. We are your hosts, Brian Fisher and Scotty Bentley. Scotty over here, also host at Locked On Tigers, so make sure you go give him a listen. And thanks for making us your first listen every single day. We are free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. Subscriber count 350, Scotty. We climbing.
Woo-wee!
So the Red Wings.
9 God, by the way.
Oh, yes. How can we? God, that's why I'm wearing the hat.
9 God, Super Bowl champion, Matthew Stafford.
Shutting up all the haters.
What's the? You want to move the goalpost back further? What's it at now? Keep going. Keep going.
Well, he doesn't have the individual accolades. He's got a Super Bowl championship, but that doesn't automatically make you a Hall of Famer.
Which is hilarious because for the last 12 years, he was a stat patter that only had individual accolades.
No, but he doesn't have MVPs or like all the Pro Bowls. Like that's now where the goalposts have moved.
Yeah, I think my favorite one was he's on a really good team now.
Yeah, well, that was
the problem. What are we talking about? That's the point.
Yeah, we're talking about nonsense, and people aren't. If you hate Stafford, you're gonna always hate Stafford.
Ridiculous.
You love Stafford, you're always gonna love Stafford. I honestly, first of all, I hate the whole Detroit Rams thing. Absolutely ridiculous.
Stupid.
But I absolutely rooted for Stafford in LA because I knew man deserved it. He escaped
big time.
Detroit Lions fans, myself included, we love to stew in our own misery as Detroit Lions fans. He deserved to escape that after 12 years of just nothing. Goes out to LA, struts his stuff, wins a Super Bowl championship. For a lot of Lions fans, this is the closest it's going to be to Lions fans actually winning a Super Bowl. Is Matthew Stafford. Like, we're all living vicariously.
Yeah, big time.
We recognize
not the Detroit Rams though.
Not the Detroit Rams though. That's
stupid.
I'm still a Lions fan, and I also recognize that winning the Super Bowl now screws them and like getting them the worst possible first round pick. But, like, Stafford just deserved it. He's a humble guy. He keeps to himself. He's been very good on a very crappy team. He's been loyal. Man, like, he deserves it.
Also,
he's a Justin Verlander.
If you thought that pick was going to be anything before, like, 25, you were just outside your mind anyway. That's an insane roster. Stafford's a good quarterback. You're like, that was always a ridiculous thing to even insinuate to begin with. So, whatever. We can talk about hockey now.
Yeah. Anyways, 9 God. The Detroit Red Wings played at home against Philadelphia on Saturday. Came out with a win, won the home and home. That game on Saturday was a nooner.
It was
4-2. And then on Monday last night, they went to Minnesota, dropped that one 7-4. That one was an interesting game because it was a lot closer than the stat sheet would imply. And we'll get into that one later. But let's start back off of this Flyers versus Red Wings game. It was just another one of those games where, I mean, granted, you're up against a down-and-out opponent like the Philadelphia Flyers. Claude Giroux just came out and said, like, he wants to go to Colorado, but he'd also consider St. Louis and, Minnesota. The team's falling apart.
They're in a tough situation.
Yeah. And so they're 8th place in the Metro Division. You come home after beating them on the road, and you beat them again. And it's the usual suspects. You had your first goal scored by Tyler Bertuzzi, a nice play from Robbie Fabry shooting it across the crease. Tyler Bertuzzi, a little bit of interference in front of the net, but, gets away with it, redirects the puck in the net. Whole Guelph Stormline got the assist on that one. I mean, and then Moritz Seider with a power play.
Unreal. You not entertained after he scored the goal, too? Iconic photo. That photo is going to be around for that dude's whole career, man.
But those are the types of wins you need the Detroit Red Wings to get. You're facing a team that is, let's face it, bad this year, despite how much Carter Hart tries to make that team look good. It's a bad team, and the Detroit Red Wings dominated them at home. Like, they dominated them on the road, and Moritz Seider, again, dominated the Philadelphia Flyers. I mean, Filip Zadina had a nice snipe as well. I mean, they just
snipe.
It was an absolute snipe.
Snipe show, bro. That's one of the best goals of his career. Honestly, that was a snipe show.
And that's what you hope to gather by having Filip Zadina on the top line now, is that he'll be able to produce more playing with better line mates, and maybe playing more to competition that is his speed. Sometimes when guys go down in the lineup, they play down to their competition. It's a weird mental thing. The best of the best never do it. Like, if I'm being blunt, but some players do. Maybe Filip Zadina on the top line heats up a little bit, and he kind of had. Was it 4 points in 6 games before the game against Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
He had that goal. He was looking pretty good. But the real story of that game against Philadelphia, despite the Seider goal, the Filip Zadina goal, and the Guelph Storm line production,
Greisser.
Thomas Greiss, after 5 weeks he missed or something insane like that, finally makes an emergence.
He just didn't like, we don't know.
He fell off the face of the
earth.
There
wasn't even an announcement of oh, he's back. It was just we were is he the backup goalie right now? No one really knows.
Yeah, he went into COVID protocol, and we never heard from him again. And then he's like, "Okay, guys, I'm here. I'm ready to start."
Yeah, and he was like, "Hey, I'll go out there tonight if you need me, coach." We're like, "Oh, okay."
We've been really hard, and I think to a certain extent, deservedly so, on Thomas Greiss's performance this season. He has not been good
on Saturday, though.
But on Saturday,
fantastic.
He looked absolutely stellar.
He had the one save, the kick, the kicks, the kick, the pad, left pad, man. Unreal. No, he was on his head, and I think, man, even the 2 goals, I felt so bad. We got the win, and that's all that matters in his eyes, I'm sure. But I was like, man, he kind of deserved a shutty, man. He was on his head for real.
Well, you talk about confidence builders. You go on COVID protocol for 5 weeks. You come back off. I mean, granted, again, Philadelphia Flyers are bad, but in hockey more than any other sport, any given day, you come off a COVID protocol after 5 weeks, and you make 32 saves your first game back after having a rough season up to that point. And correct me if I'm wrong, but he was a second half performer last year too.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the start of his stocks coming, rising a little bit. Right in time for the trade deadline. Although I don't know who's looking for a backup goaltender, but
Colorado,
yeah. But
my go-to every year.
The point being here is, Alex Nedeljkovic is going through a bit of a rough stretch, and he looked rough against Minnesota. I wouldn't, again, it's always tough putting the blame on goaltenders. You always want to balance it because they're your last-ditch defense. But he had a 750 save percentage against Minnesota.
Yeah, no, they didn't get many shots off. We'll talk about that when we cover Minnesota. But Greiss was phenomenal, and the defense was pretty solid. I mean, they got 34 shots off. Not they outshot us by 10, and when we won by 2 goals, not great. Mark Stahl had another very Mark Stahl performance where he was making some stuff happen on offense and was an absolute. What did I say last time? A Ryan Gosling in Remember the Titans level liability on defense. But Greiss really was fantastic. Faced a lot of shots, stood on his head. Not only kept us in the game, but got us the win. And that's what we said coming into the season, man. We said, all we need from Greiss is to keep us in games. Give us a chance to win games. That's all you need out of any backup goalie. You don't need him to light the world on fire. You just need him to produce enough to keep you in games. And he did a hell of a lot more than that on Saturday.
Well, yeah, he did way more than just keep you in on Saturday. He was probably, I would argue, with the lack of shots that the Red Wings got. Now, Carter Hart had another rough game for the Philadelphia Flyers, but Thomas Greiss may have been the key reason why they won that game in the first place with those 32 saves. The Flyers came back and they fought hard. Yeah. Got beard, get Primal. Had to wait for it to load.
Slick transitions.
Yes.
Baby.
You heard me right. If someone you care about has a beard, it needs to get Primal. Maybe you're that guy who has never considered the benefits of treating your beard with product. Primal Origin Oils will stop the itch and make your beard look healthy and groomed. The products are free from harmful synthetic ingredients and with low impact on our planet. Primal Origin Oils makes balms, oils, and whipped butter that are renowned as the best feel-in-beard products available. All products are fair trade certified and handcrafted in the United States of America. The combo kits make a great holiday gift. And if you're shopping for yourself, you'll be glad you did. We know that every company claims to have the best, but Primal Origin Oils challenges you to compare their ingredients and the feel in beard to the other products you've used. We promise you will see and feel the difference. Remember, the code LOCKEDON gets you 20% off at primaloriginoils.com. Use code LOCKEDON at checkout for 20% off at primaloriginoils.com. I always love ending with the .com. So aggressive. Aggressive is what the Red Wings were in the last 5 minutes of that third period, but they couldn't get the job done as they followed the Minnesota Wild 7-4. That game had a little bit of everything, didn't it, Scotty?
It did, man. I mean, what a chaotic first 10 minutes. That's the first 10 minutes of that game is some of the most insane and asinine hockey I've ever seen in a great way. It was electric to watch. It was a roller coaster of emotions, but it was, I mean, what a way to kick off the evening. Larkin scoring right out the gate. Sports Center tweeted it was like, oh, he broke his ankles or made him fall. Like, no, he didn't.
Jordy Ben just fell.
Yeah, he was just skating, and homeboy just blew a tire, man. But regardless, I mean, we'll take the pub. All pub's good pub, but
PR, man.
Yeah, damn right. But no, but I mean, like I said, it was off to a crazy start. The ice in the first period, I think, was genuinely bad. I don't think they were skating on great ice. To NHL standards, I guess you would say that was still probably much better than Brian's men's league's ice. But
don't knock the Onyx. The Onyx is pretty slick.
That's fair. That's a totally fair gripe. But I mean, people were falling all over the place for like the first 5 minutes, and nobody could stop. People were slipping around. It was wild. And then it was a track race. Basically, it was a track.
Oh, it was a shootout, man. It's crazy.
It was just fast break, and then you missed, and then it was fast break, and then they missed, and it was fast break, and then a goal would happen, and then fast break. It was an unbelievable first period.
I think the worst part about all those fast breaks was just the amount of fast breaks the Wild had on the Red Wings power plays. And the Red Wings had penalty trouble all night long. They took 4. It went both ways. There were weak calls on both sides of the puck.
For sure.
Red Wings took 4 penalties. Dude, I'm sorry. That's not correct. The Red Wings took 5 penalties in this one. And, not great. Not great. The Wild took plenty, too. Lots of shorthanded and power play advantage, but the Red Wings their power play looks so awful.
The Red Wings power play looks bad. They did get one. The
Raymond
Razor goal was power play, but that was one of 6.
Yeah, one of 6 opportunities.
7? Yeah. And the Wild have an
8.
Unbelievable power play.
8 power play opportunities, and you scored 1.
Beauty.
It's not good.
The Wild have a ridiculous power play. One of the better power plays in the sport, and like you said in the intro, and like you said in the lockdown now, like in the post game video, this team is dude. It got like 3 retweets. Aww. One of them was me making fun of you, but like,
was it now?
Yeah, you should definitely check it out after the show.
Now.
Oh, or you could do it right now, but. The power play was for the Wild is fantastic, and that's a hard thing to stop. Especially the Wings are a young team, man. It's a young team, and you're going up against honestly somewhat of a juggernaut of a power play. So, wow, they went 3 for 4.
Oh, you didn't say anything bad.
Yeah, I did.
You said can't wait to break this whole thing down.
No, I didn't.
Did you retweet it from your own account?
No. You should read it a lot more closely and then listen to what you said in the video.
Oh, leave me alone. Listen, it's really late. I'm tired. But no, you're right. The Wild had 4 power play goals. The Red Wings penalty kill was absolutely abysmal in this game. And
again, tall task
against the Wild's very strong power play, but I'm sorry, no excuses. You got to do a better job than that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It was the difference in this game.
Just roll over, but
it
was the difference.
You take those power play. You want to take both. If you want to be fair and take power play goals away from both teams, it's a 3-3 game.
Yep,
it's a 3-3 game. Red Wings giving up 4 power play goals is absolutely abysmal. Like, their special teams have been bad on both sides of the puck this year, but at least the penalty kill has been a little bit better. Not in this game. And this is a path we've gone down multiple times. If the Red Wings want to get better, a lot more consistency is needed. But power play and penalty kill have got to improve. Got to improve because you cannot win a Stanley
special
Cup.
teams has been a big problem this whole year, like you
Yeah,
said.
you can't win a Stanley Cup with both of your special teams in the bottom third of the league. Your power play being 31st or 32nd year in and year out. It's not possible.
Yeah, we've been in the 30s for a minute there. Also, I mean, we did we talk about it? Maybe we talked about it off air or at the beginning. I don't remember, but Ned did not look great.
No, he didn't. And man, I always find it tough to hate on a goaltender, especially because their job is so taxing. He just didn't have a good game. I mean, just to be blunt with it, he didn't have a good one. I mean, he faced 20-some shots. The Red Wings outshot the Minnesota Wild, but he let in like 5 goals. It's just
like comfortably. We almost outshot them by double digits. Like we comfortably outshot them.
But I mean, let's focus on the negatives. Let's take a look at these positives because it was still a pretty fun game.
Positives. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, there was the crazy start of Jordy Ben, like you mentioned, blowing a tire, and Dylan Larkin again getting a game-opening goal. He leads the league in game-opening goals. It's a really weird stat. But if there's a game,
go ahead.
If there's a game to be started, Dylan Larkin's scoring a goal.
Yeah, and one of the other crazy stats they showed was even strength goals. If you just look at 5-on-5 goals, he is very close to leading the NHL.
Which is an awesome stat to have. Because that means, because you want your best players to be able to score at even strength. I remember for a long time, people used that as an argument of why Sidney Crosby was better than Alexander Ovechkin, because Ovechkin's goals all came on the power play. Because there's that one crazy season where Ovechkin had 50 goals, but he was like a minus 30 on the year because all his goals came on power play.
Right.
So, you want your best players to score even strength goals because that means that they're capable of doing it at, full strength. They don't need the handicap of having one last man on the ice to get it done. And then, of course, Gustav Lindstrom getting his first, not just first NHL, first professional goal. And it was,
defensive defenseman through and through.
It's really nice to see that pay off for him, too, because he's actually been secretly good this entire season because, like you said, he is a defensive defenseman. So you don't really notice him out there. Like, even with Moritz Seider being a defensive defenseman, has that offensive upside on a little bit on the back end, so you still see him. I mean, he had 2 assists in this game as well. Lindstrom does not have that. He specializes in his own zone and shutting things down. His WAR percentage is 83% at last I checked, so that means he's like in the top 17% of the league in terms of defensemen. But you don't know it because you don't know he's on the ice because he does such a damn good job of shutting things down. He just doesn't take part in the offensive part of things. So it's good to see him get a goal.
It is. No, it was such a cool moment. The picture of him after and all that. It was sweet. But my favorite storyline of the night.
I know where you're going.
The Smith boys.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, baby. The Smith brothers in there in action, baby. On the same line. They even they got a little rough there for a little bit. I think it was the second period. Maybe it was even the end of the first. This was a long game, by the way.
The first period lasted 50 minutes. It was insane.
But yeah, man, they were roughing people up. Giovanni was causing trouble, and then Jamel came in and was trying to. There's a video of it took 2 Wild players to hold Jamel back when he was going to help Giovanni on like a scruff. It was awesome. It was so cool, and I'm glad. Even if it doesn't happen for the rest of the season, I'm glad we got a night with it. And it sucks that it came in a borderline blowout loss, but I'm glad we got it.
I so badly wanted either of them to both get into fights at the same time or like get a goal assisted by the other one. Yeah.
We were close to the fight one. We've never really got close to the goal assist thing, but we were close to the fight one, man. I mean, there was that point where Giovanni was messing with whoever was laying on the ground. I don't remember who it was, and it got a little close. But yeah, super cool moment regardless. Just a really, really cool thing. And then, I mean, the only other really noteworthy thing is the Red Wings and giving up hat tricks to young players. It's
crazy.
He had 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, in the first 8 minutes, and it was a hattie. That's the tale as old as time at this point.
No, I tweeted it out, and I was really hoping because I didn't want to do the research myself because I'm so lazy, guys. But I tweeted it out. I was like, how many hat tricks have the Red Wings given up this season? Because it feels like a lot. And I was
I
like,
had a
please,
great
somebody
quote
give me
tweet
the
for
stat.
that.
Somebody
I had a
please give me
great
the
quote
stat.
tweet for that tweet.
Oh, yeah, what was it?
It was the poll.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The poll that wasn't actually a poll because you were afraid that people would vote C again. I get it.
I mean, the replies were all C anyway. So,
Yeah,
like,
people are ready for you to be gone.
I know, man. Most hated man in Detroit.
And then there was another guy who doesn't even know who Scotty is. It was wild.
Yeah, that was weird. I couldn't tell if that was a joke or not, but
I think
somebody
it was meant
like,
to be a joke.
who is Scotty and why is he getting fired? I was like, are you actually a listener? But I mean, it really is a wild thing how consistently they give up hat tricks or goalies have shutouts, like making their debuts. Like we're very charitable. I'll put it that way.
You know, a good way to be charitable towards yourself
Wow.
is by going to betonline.net.
That's an all-timer.
Yeah, every week's an all-timer. Football might be over for the season, but basketball is in full steam for both pro and college hoops. From all the latest odds, totals, player performance props to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline.net is the number one spot for all your sports betting needs. BetOnline remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. It's not just basketball. BetOnline.net is your source for hockey. We love that one. Boxing and UFC odds right to the Olympic coverage and information. Head to the new website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. BetOnline, where the game starts.
BetOnline.
Ridiculous. Insane. Okay, Scotty. Segment 3, Tuesday edition of Lockdown Red Wings. Monday edition wasn't happening. Scotty and I were not we weren't dry.
Yeah, it was that would have been a fun show. Needless to say, we record these the night before.
Would have been loose.
Would have been a really, really fun and interesting show if Brian and I got behind a mic on after the Super Bowl. That would have been an event. We'll put it that way. That would have been a hell of a show.
Would have ended up our most viewed episode all time. I don't know why, but I just know it would have.
I think it might, and I think I definitely would be fired after.
Well, we're counting down the days. Anyway.
I know myself. I feel like I'd get canned. You know.
Can we talk about, before I pose the question to end the show, can we talk about the last 5 minutes of that third period and how absolutely insane? And, you know, yes, you can't go down. You can't give up 4 consecutive goals and 4 power play goals in a game and expect to win. But I will give credit where credit is due. The Detroit Red Wings absolutely played their hearts out that last 5 minutes. They got that power play too. The goal actually came right after the power play had ended. But Gagne had his patience pay off with a nice rebound goal. Just a 2-minute, 15-second shift. They played incredibly hard at the end of the game to try and tie it up, and that is the stuff I love to see. Is even when they it's unlikely they tie it up. You know, they keep trying and they keep playing, and this team's just got heart, man. Those last 5 minutes were just as exciting as the first 5 minutes, in my opinion.
No, it was, and you know, really from the Raymond goal on, I would say that like from that point on, it was pedal to the metal, baby. They really did play their hearts out, and that's something that we haven't seen. So even in a loss, even in a 3-goal loss, that's still something that's very nice to see, and that's refreshing that we haven't seen in a hot minute. And the team's got fight. The team wants to win. Mo Seider said after the game Saturday, he said everybody in that locker room, the goal is to catch Boston. And whether you laugh at that and think that's feasible or not is a subjective thing. But again, it's nice to hear the 20-year-old rookie come out and say, you know what, every dude in that locker room is trying to catch Boston right now, and ended the quote with saying, like, we're here to prove people wrong. It's nice, and that I think that directly correlates to how they fight at the end of games like that.
All right, Scotty, I want to pose the question. I teased it in the cold open, and we got a few minutes left.
Yes, I will marry you.
Oh, well, thank you, buddy.
Happy Valentine's Day, buddy.
Happy Valentine's Day. The Minnesota Wild, I thought about this in the third period while watching them. They gave me this vibe of what the Red Wings could be next year or maybe a year after that. they're so incredibly young with the talent that they have. They have Kirill Kaprizov. They have a rookie goaltender in Kaapo Kakkonen, who is, I think he's leading goaltenders in save percentage, rookie goaltenders in save percentage right now.
Crazy year, yeah.
He's been absolutely phenomenal. They're so young. They're so talented. They're so fun. The Red Wings are, right behind them, I feel. Do you see the Minnesota Wild being in the Red Wings' future in terms of, like, fun factor?
Trajectory, yeah.
Trajectory, thank you.
I think that in going back to baseball terms, as I love to do,
You like baseball?
a team that is baseball doesn't exist. There's
They don't want
in
to play
terms.
players.
Don't even get me started. It's a good thing I have my own show where I can vent about that crap. But in terms of the Tigers, the White Sox interdivision are like a couple years ahead of them as far as the rebuild goes, and the White Sox went into a full rebuild and got a ton of prospects, and their farm system was crazy, but their major league team sucked, and then they slowly started trickling in the minor league talent, and they started winning more and more games, and now they're the division favorite and are probably going to be until somebody else knocks them off.
Tigers.
Correct. And I think that's a very similar situation to where we're not that both of those teams are in the same spot as the Wild and the Wings are right now, but maybe like a year off. Like I feel like the Wings are starting to head in that direction, and the Wild are I do agree with you. They're a young, they're a fast, and they're a talented ass team, man. And
No.
and they're only going to get better. They're only going to get better, and I do think that in maybe a year's time, maybe by as early as next season, we start to see the Wings take that next step forward. And and I think that those matchups would be crazy fun in the future just because of the speed and the youth.
Stanley Cup final matchups? Yeah, let's go. Yeah, they have a little bit of a mix of a team that's a few years ahead and also at the same place as the Wings. And the reason I say that is because they have a couple of rookies on their team, like Kaapo Kakkonen. I believe Boldy is also a rookie as well.
He is, yeah.
And they got young guys who are just now playing and breaking out this season, much like the Red Wings are. But the difference is that the Minnesota Wild also have had rookies who are now in their sophomore seasons or their junior seasons and are still, performing and playing above that level. Obviously I'm referring to Kirill Kaprizov, who's got 57 points in 43 games played. He's having a more unreal season than the captain Dylan Larkin is, and the guy's just insane. But they've also got a lot of very well-established rookies who are playing really well. And not rookies, I'm sorry, veterans, well-established veterans who are playing really well. And that's something where the Red Wings, lack. Outside of Bertuzzi, outside of Larkin, they've got solid veterans, but they don't have guys like what the Minnesota Wild have, and Matt Zuccarello and Kevin Fiala and
the
Ryan
veteran
Hartman.
Depth. Like
the veteran depth is unreal.
The Wings have the top end, veteran talent.
Yeah.
But the veteran depth is where the big separation is for sure.
And that's why I say give it another year, maybe two, because once the Seider, Nedeljkovic, Raymond are into their sophomore season, assuming they don't go into a sophomore, something can continue to compete. Next year, you're going to have another slate of young guys that are going to be exciting to watch. You're going to have, I bet you're going to have Jonathan Berggren. I don't expect him to be down in the AHL another year next year.
I think he's there.
You might have a couple other surprises.
Speak on it.
That's what I was going to say. Simon Edvinsson, maybe not a guarantee, but having a pretty good year over the SHL.
Raymond wasn't a guarantee.
Exactly. He could sneak his way onto the roster as soon as next year if he continues to play well. Not guaranteeing that, but he could. So the Red Wings are going to have this young talent now with more rookies on the way, more highly touted rookies on the way. They could be the Minnesota Wild in a year or two. They could be one of the best in their division in a year or two.
Tough division, too.
Tough division. But watching the Minnesota Wild, I get excited because I'm like, this is the direction the Red Wings are headed. This is the trajectory that they're on. Like, losing to the Minnesota Wild, I was like, that was exciting. That is what I want the Detroit Red Wings to do.
It's definitely that.
Well, and they were also...
And
I was just going to finish off by saying they were so creative. Like the way the Minnesota Wild scored goals today, so creative.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Especially the creativity on the power play is what I was going to highlight. I mean, they got so much talent that their power play is nuts, and it's one of our biggest weaknesses. That hopefully we have an off season, we get some more depth in here, and can fix the freaking special teams going to next year, and then maybe take another step forward.
Just need another. We're gonna just need another special teams coach. That's the solutions. Every year, just get a new special teams.
Just get a new one every year, and eventually it'll work.
Something will stick to the wall eventually. Little cleanup though. I wanted to mention this. It's been on my mind, but I didn't know how to like weave it into the topic. Moritz Seider with 2 assists against Minnesota now moves into second among all rookies in points behind Lucas Raymond. And Moritz Seider and Lucas Raymond.
He's got 30?
He's got 34 points. Lucas Raymond has 39 points. Those are your
so we have
leaders.
A non-one-dimensional defenseman that's 20 years old and has 34 points, by the way.
That's insane.
Not bad.
That's absolutely insane.
Not bad at all.
And then Raymond leads Moritz Seider leads all rookies in assists with 29. Raymond right behind him at 26. And then when it comes to goals, Raymond is at third and 13. So Zegers has cooled off a lot, man. You know that panic button on with Zegers.
Hey, if you don't have Mo at Calder right now, it's got to be Mo. You don't know puck. Simple as that. You don't know puck.
Trevor Zegers had an exciting 2 weeks, but hasn't really done much in a minute here.
You don't know puck if Moritz Seider is not your Calder favorite.
Also, Troy Stetcher returned to the lineup. That was cool.
Yeah, he got in a little tussle.
He tried to fight. I'll give him credit for the attempt, but
he was defending Mark Stahl with everything he had.
I respected that.
He said, "That's my assistant captain. You're going after right there."
I was like, Stetcher, you just came back from injury. You're out.
I know,
for like
man.
8
You were
weeks.
wearing a blue jersey 2 days ago,
week
dog.
ago.
Let's calm down.
No, but I love the fire. I loved it.
Absolutely.
So,
also, I just wanted to end on the goal. You know, we talked about Seider had the quote and talked about. Well, I said the quote, but man, like that's awesome. I love the fire. But listen to this slate. Okay, we played the Wild tonight. Then we have the Rangers, the Avalanche, the Leafs, the Hurricane, the Lightning, and the Panthers. That's our stretch.
And the Coyotes.
No, did you see the video of that? They're like moving into the new home.
The
owner, pinky little. Oh my goodness!
They're playing out of college, and the owner's like, "It's going to be loud. It's going to be packed." All the fans are like, "It better be packed with 5,000 capacity."
So embarrassing. They did like a jersey swap with the president of Arizona State and the
you know what? Though, good for Arizona State.
Oh yeah, get your bag, bro. The
Coyotes are paying for renovations.
It's so embarrassing. But then even after the Wild, right? So we after the Coyotes, sorry.
Also, we lost to the Coyotes earlier in the season. So
we have lost to them in overtime. Yeah. So we then the Coyotes game after that stretch, and then we go Wild, Flames, Oilers right after. So like that's fun. Yeah, nice little next 10 games here.
But you know what? This is where good teams prove themselves.
Yeah, it is. No, if you want to have anybody in this fan base believe what you just said about catching Boston be true, go, you know, a game or two over 500 in this stretch.
Yeah, you got it. You got to win. And we talked about it. Good teams beat good teams. I mean, that's just how it is.
Damn right.
If you want to be a legitimate threat in any regard, you got to go out there and beat the intimidating teams too. And they just, you know, they've been able to do that so far this season, a lot of the times at home, but you've already beaten the Oilers once. You can do it again. Go out there to the West Coast, beat up on them, prove Ken Holland that he doesn't know how to build a Stanley Cup contender.
All right, man.
But that's, you know, these are topics for another episode. I want to thank you guys for making Locked On Red Wings your first listen every day. Now make your second listen Locked On Bets. They're your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling news. Locked On Bets hosted by your boy Q with expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. They are free and available on all platforms. Scotty, any final thoughts?
Attaboy. 9 God.
9 God.
Super Bowl champ. 9 God, baby. We ball.
Tomorrow's episode's going to be Wednesday. We'll be back with you then. Same time, same place. It's your team every day.
Every day.